While I cannot dance nor sing a lick in my whole life, I was always the one who sat down during the wedding reception, wouldn't even get up to wobble. I can do it in front of a classroom with kids, and you can take 60 science vocabulary words, let them tap their pencils and make a beat. You've all heard it before at some point where they're driving crazy at the dinner table, tapping a fork, tapping their knife, tapping the glass. Children can make music in a magical way. And when I started at a Title I school in Orlando teaching 5th grade science, they would drive me nuts, up the wall, crazy in class, tapping and making this obnoxious noise. Obnoxious noise. And it was a problem. It was a huge problem because it stopped me from teaching. It stopped my show. And then I realized after about a week of this what the problem was. It wasn't them, it was me. I was the problem. They were not obnoxious. I was not open-minded. And so I took their, what I thought was disruption, what I now knew was a talent, and allowed them to get loose with it, become free with it, and within maybe a week, we'd comprise, in actually math and science, vocabulary songs. They could sing 80 words in about maybe 10 minutes, and they knew the definitions and had movements to all of them. So when I took who they were, and I was open-minded enough to what they could teach me, it allowed me to then multiply infinitely what I could get out of them, what they could learn, a meaningful experience. So just to comment on what the video said, when you take music and what children are naturally inclined to do, you can maximize your time in the class. When you allow them to talk and they channel it in a way that is productive, they can become what they were meant to be. And so we did that for years, and it developed into this literally curriculum that they felt comfortable in. We went from science to math, and then we went to reading. I mean, if we can get them to get science words, maybe they can get the really difficult reading concepts. Maybe we can work inferences in there, cause and effect, compare and contrast. Lo and behold, it worked, and they did very, very well. And so when you take who they are and you allow them to just really develop in that area, that's where you can magnify their learning.
Now, we know that, and from the experiences that I had as an educational administrator, that there is an oil and water mix when it comes to the values, the vision, the objectives of not only the curriculum, but also the socialization and the values that are learned in the educational process. So my question is, and again, this goes to anyone on the panel, how do we, within the current schools, because as Brother Edge said, that we're not going to be able to just do this mass exodus, how do we begin to infuse our identity, the core values, within a structure that is clearly designed to have us in a situation where we're in a genocide? What are some of the things that we can do in order to be able to infuse this identity restoration, this identity formation approach in an environment that is becoming sterile in terms of any kind of other sensibilities that reflect our culture and our identity?